The Five Nights at Freddy series is full of scares and spooks, but what about Christmas cheer? And you know what they say, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is by writing 10 creepypastas for all to hear. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and I'm coming at you with some more Kringle pastas with today's list of the top 10 scary FNAF Christmas creepypastas. Yes, I'm calling them Kringle pastas, okay, it's gonna be a thing. More like cringle pastas. Let's do it. And at 10, the secret level. The Christmas update for FNAF Help Wanted's flat mode was something interesting. It created a new era in the pizza party minigame that you had to go to instead of ending the game. Everyone was making videos about this new, never before seen location, and I was excited to check it out for myself. That was a big mistake. I get to the back room in the pizza party minigame once again, and this time look to the right where I see a new door open up. I click it and the screen goes black. But when I can see, the level is nothing like what it was shown on YouTube. Maybe they had a YouTube safe version, maybe Scott sent them a copy with another room, maybe they were planning it all in unison, but my god, this was horrific. It was still outside that coming soon billboard like the original, but this time it was like a meet Santa kind of thing too. There were kids lining up to sit on Santa's knee and tell him what they wanted for Christmas so their parents could know. And I say were because, well, I don't think they're waiting in any lines anymore. The snow was red and soaked in what I can only guess was their children's blood, and the bodies still laying there. 15 kids for the 15 victims of Purple Guy. The Santa was still there. I figured he was dead too, but instead, he removed his beard and somehow it was glitch trap. I don't know how I didn't see it before. It felt like when Harvey Dent doesn't realize it's the Joker until he takes his face mask off. Glitch trap stood up and I quickly turned off my game before he had the chance to add me to his collection. And a 9 tree trimming. I was home after a long day of work. My girlfriend was coming over in a couple hours and my Christmas tree still hadn't been decorated. My girlfriend had already said that she was sick of decorating trees since she did one at her mother's and then one with her father. They had been separated since she was 15, nearly 10 years ago. I've been playing a lot of video games lately to pass the time before going to sleep since she had been so busy, and recently I've been playing Five Nights at Freddy's, an indie game series that really blew up, but I can't see why. It's not scary. At least, I didn't think I was scared. As I started putting my silver and blue ornament balls on the tree, something I plan to sign into conversation later, I thought I saw something standing behind me in the reflection of the blue run. I spun around and there was nobody behind me. I put a silver one up and I think I see something again, but this time I saw it properly. It looks like a giant chicken with arms and legs holding a cupcake? It was looking at me from my closet. I turned around and the door was closed. I went to check inside, but when I opened the door, there was nothing. I checked the reflection and it also had nothing in the closet anymore. I figured I was just hallucinating since I was tired and had been playing that game so much. But then I heard the closet door slam. I called my girlfriend and told her not to come. It's now 5 AM and I just need to wait until the sun comes up. An A+ trap. I love the Five Nights at Freddy series. I've been a fan since the first game and I love the series even more every time a new game comes out. I have them all and I love playing them, especially at night in a dark room on weekends when I don't have school. For Christmas, the only thing I wanted was a plush trap doll, a character from FNAF 4 that really creeped the hell out of me. He was like a smaller version of Springtrap, and there was this Etsy shop that described their dolls as faithful recreations. So I asked my parents for that and only that since it was fairly expensive. Luckily I was able to get the doll as well as a couple other things for Christmas, which was a nice surprise for me. But for the rest of the day I was running around playing with that doll. At the time I didn't realize what a big mistake I had made, but that Etsy shop wasn't lying when they said faithful recreation, although they should have included the whole moving in your sleep thing. He only moved a little the first few nights, slumping over and falling off the chair, but after that it got freaky. He would climb onto the bookshelf or on the top of my dresser, but wherever he was always looking at me when I woke up. Last night he woke up on my bed. He was laying on my other pillow, staring at me. My parents didn't believe me. Joked that that's what the faithful recreation meant, but now I'm terrified. I've painted a red X on the floor, and I hope that I can stop him on it. And at 7, VR. The FNAF VR Christmas update didn't really change the gameplay. It fixed some bugs and added some decorations, but the gameplay was the same. Some places didn't even have the new decorations, like the night terrors for example. I don't know why a kid would want to decorate his room for Christmas, but hey, I'm not the one to judge. Especially if that kid is meant to be in a coma. But for some reason, the animatronics were dressed up. They were wearing Santa hats and left footprints of snow behind like they had just gone outside. This makes them easier to track, but they were also quick, like a kid waking up their parents at 5 AM on Christmas morning quick. They had no regard for the amount of time it takes to get to the other hallway. As soon as they were gone, boom, they were on the other side. I don't know how they thought this would be possible, especially with Nightmare Fredbear. Fredbear was wearing a full Santa outfit, with the coat, the boots, the hat, everything. Maybe it was supposed to be comforting, but I was never never able to survive until even 2 a.m., let alone 6. Santa Fredbear is now my sleep paralysis demon. And at 6, the joy of Christmas. It's an early night on Christmas Eve. I was sitting in my living room watching my favorite Christmas movies from when I was growing up. The Santa Claus, Home Alone 1 and 2, Frosty the Snowman, The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I'm sure you know them. But for some reason, I felt like something was watching me. I felt like I could turn to my left at any minute and someone would be standing there. This wasn't entirely false, since in a few hours I would see the face of true terror, but never in my wildest dreams did I think my own creations would watch and attack me. Hello. My name is Scott Coffin. You may know me as the creator of the Five Nights At Freddy series, but this isn't an update, this is a goodbye. You see, a few hours after finishing the Santa Claus with my family, they went to bed, eager for Santa to bring them a bountiful harvest of gifts. But as I placed them down under the tree, I looked to my left and see a big purple foot, as clear as day. I knew that foot. It kept me up constantly while I was making the first game. It was meant to be blue, but the lighting made it look weird. Bonnie. I stand and see the others are not too far behind. They look mangled, destroyed, as if they had to climb through hell itself in order to escape the game world. When the other 3 arrive, Bonnie breaks the window and they pile in. They knew this house as well as I did. I guess they were created by me, so it makes sense. I quickly barricade my children's room in a futile attempt to save them from the unhindered wrath of my creation, but I know they're safe. They're good for me. Halfway through number 5, Twisted Christmas. I was out late playing with my sister. Well, it wasn't really that late. It was 9 p.m. and we were still sledding. We eventually fall off the sled and stand up. My sister threw a snowball at me, so of course we had a full-out battle. I couldn't just let her do that. But that's when the snow started moving. We ran on top of the hill to get a better view, and some patches of snow had started shaking as if they were alive. Eventually the snow falls and we see what's really going on. Robots climb out of the holes in the ground like a horror movie. They were old and rusted, like they hadn't been out of the ground in 40 years. They were moving slowly since they were old and cold, but there were many. A bear, a fox, a wolf, and what I think is supposed to be a rabbit. They were horrifying. And then they saw us. They all looked at us in unison. These things were like zombies with the way they came at us slowly. My sister was terrified, too scared to move, so I did the only sensible thing. Grabbed her, the sled, and ran. I ran past the school whose hill we were using and the robots were long gone, but that wasn't gonna stop me. I kept running as fast as I can all the way home. When I got there, I noticed that I had the sled, but not my sister. I swore I grabbed her. Where the hell did she go? It had 4 houses on the hill. There was 1 house left on Santa's Christmas route. It was alone on a hill in the middle of what seemed like nowhere. There was an old rundown barn in the distance at the bottom of the hill, but other than that and a driveway, there wasn't really anything else. This was the last one, the Aftons. Michael had been naughty, so he was getting coal. However, his little brother had been through so much. Santa lands on the roof and climbs down the chimney, but this was a longer climb than usual. When he gets out, he seems to be in the basement, surrounded by robot parts and a giant vat of some boiling liquid. It looked like hot metal, but Santa could feel something else coming from it. It felt like the metal was crying. He was about to turn around when he heard the click of a shotgun. "Who are you and what are you doing down here?" a deep voice said. "Haven't you ever heard of Santa Claus, William?" Santa said. "Put the gun down and let me go." William started lowering the gun. Bang! Shot Santa. Getting close to the end into number 3, presents. My dad and stepmom were weird. They always had some quirk that they had to include in the Christmas gifts, whether it be wrapping boxes in boxes, or if it be wrapping the gift multiple times with different wrapping papers only to watch us and get a chuckle every Christmas morning. This year they chose to put everything in those wind-up boxes that's like a mini jump scare. Like the ones that play Pop Goes the Weasel and shoot out a clown. They said that they replaced the clowns and that if we wanted our presents we'd have to work for it. One of them also still contained a clown, and if we found that, then we'd get an extra special present. My brother and I went through all the different boxes trying to find the clown. I opened 4 and he opened 3 before he found it. When he found it, my dad brought out an extra big box. It wasn't gigantic or anything, but it was around 50% bigger than the others. He said that we had to open it together, so that's what we did. Dun 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 dun. As soon as it popped out, it jumped at us. This weird decaying doll that looked like a malformed rabbit. My brother and I ran scared, but it grabbed his leg and started clawing at it, drawing blood and making him scream. Eventually he stopped, and then it was on to me. As I lay there, bloody and dying, I looked up to see my father bring in 2 more robots, aside from the one that was our stepmom, one with a golden head and the other with orange pigtails. I never understood why he was so obsessed with those things, but I guess that's what I get for being an Afton. And a 2, winner winner. 'Twas the night before Christmas. The whole gang was gathered. The bunny, the fox, and even the mallard. With the stockings hung by the chimney with care, we were in the home of Freddy Fazbear. The pizzeria was silent, as quiet as ever. They had but one chance for a final endeavor. They grabbed at the chicken so fast and so quick, they put her in the oven and cooked up the chick. When she was done, oh it was so tasty, they ate Chica fast, and they had to be hasty. For the security guard with his new badge was due, he had been working there for about a day or two. He arrived on the scene to find such a cluster, so the animatronics gathered all the strength they could muster. He ran to his room, he shut the doors hard. Let's go back to the stage and play the off card. They returned to their station and stood very still. He opened the doors and thought he was safe until they came at him with frivolous force. He was there for 5 nights, then ran as fast as a horse. Finally, in at number 1, Puppet. It was Christmas Eve. I was so excited I couldn't sleep. I was lying in bed until I could fall asleep, but no matter what, I couldn't. Eventually, I heard footsteps on the roof. Santa was here! I had to fall asleep quickly, otherwise he would leave. I quickly shut my eyes, but as I do, I feel a hand on my shoulder. I look up and I see what I think is a puppet. It had no eyes, red cheeks, and purple streaks down its face. It motioned for me to follow it. I figured it was trying to help me see Santa, so I did. We get down to the living room and I look to the tree. No Santa. I get upset because he must have left, but I hear something in the chimney. I jump for joy, but the puppet moves in front of me. As I look around to see Santa, something else comes down the chimney. It looks old and torn and dirty, like it had just dug itself out of a grave. It looked like a wolf, but bigger and scarier. The puppet moved me back, getting me out of the way, and motioned for me to run out the door. I didn't know what to do, at least until the giant fox came bursting through my back window, carrying the body of my father, who was dressed in a Santa costume. I closed my eyes, then everything went cold. There we have it, friends, the top 10 scary FNAF Christmas Creepypastas. Creepypastas. Creepypastas are gonna be a thing. Tell your friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video unless they get to me first.